Year after year, we have trouble in this country with foodborne illness, and our new series, What's in Your Food, is tackling this issue. 76 million Americans getting sick every year from food-related illnesses. So what if we could just cut that in half? Our senior health and medical editor, Dr. Richard Besser, has been taking a look, and this morning, it's chicken.
It's chicken. Diane, there are more than 200 known diseases transmitted through food. The most common of these is Salmonella. It accounts for more than 30% of all food-related deaths, and one of the biggest ways it's spread is through chicken.
This brand new kitchen appears spotless. The toaster sparkles, the utensils shine, and even the dishes in the sink look pretty clean. Until we turn off the lights. A special UV ray reveals more than a dozen hotspots after cooking 2 packages of chicken. Sharon Cohen didn't know we treated her chicken with glow germ powder, a product designed to simulate the spread of germs. This mother of 2 was so diligent about washing, we didn't think we'd find any contamination. But we were wrong. There was residue here, 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 and even right here in the salad. If that were the real stuff, the kinds of bacteria found on raw chicken, it could be dangerous. Chicken can carry Salmonella, which is the #1 cause of foodborne illnesses in the United States. Of the 1.4 million people who contract salmonellosis every year, 15,000 are hospitalized and more than 400 die. So what happens before chicken is shipped out to your grocery store? Fieldale Farms, a processing plant in Georgia, packages about 230,000 chickens every day. Along with other safety measures, the plant spot checks temperature and tests for Salmonella. But out of 100 chickens, how many Salmonella-carrying birds would it take to earn a plant a failing grade from the USDA? 5, 10, 20? 21% have to test positive for Salmonella before a plant risks losing the USDA stamp of approval.
We have the safest chicken now that we've ever had since the testing began. Hard to take it up. I believe it is.
Microbiologist Scott Russell advises poultry producers. He points out that, on average, only about 5% of the chicken going to market test positive for Salmonella.
And that 5%, should that translate to what you see in the market? Should it stay around 5%?
Yes.
We tested 100 packages and found that, for packages of chicken parts, 20% were positive for Salmonella. For ground chicken, 54% were positive.
Russell told us that our tests may be more sensitive than the USDA's, and that chicken parts are more likely to be cross-contaminated during processing, which happens after the USDA has already done their testing. Today, the USDA is considering more stringent standards.
Attorney Dennis Stearns represents victims of foodborne illnesses.
Until the USDA decides what's more important, the industry or public health, we're going to live in this world where basically the calculation is, okay, well, there's a certain level of illness, injury, death, and hospitalization that we're going to accept as the cost of doing business.
The USDA says there is no conflict in the agency's mission.
You know, I'm not confused about what my mission is at all. And I don't think anybody who works here with me at the Food Safety Inspection Service is confused either. We are 100% about protecting public health.
For now, it's up to the consumer to heed the USDA-mandated instructions on the label. Cook chicken thoroughly to 165 degrees and prevent cross-contamination.
But remember what we found in Sharon's kitchen, on the windowsill, on the soap dispenser, even on her shirt and her hands.
Is USDA putting an unfair burden on the consumer?
We put on our seatbelts, we wash our hands, we lock our doors. Taking out a meat thermometer and putting it into a piece of meat or poultry to ensure that it's done in order to keep your family safe, to keep your guests safe. You know, for me, that's a no-brainer.
So we can't believe where you saw the signs of what could have been bacteria.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
It was everywhere.
In a kitchen, take us through the kitchen and what you do and what you think about. She was spotless, as you said.
That's right. I mean, the most important thing to remember is to cook your chicken to 165 degrees and test it with a meat thermometer. That will kill bacteria. But how you handle that chicken in your kitchen is so very important.
Yes.
Many of us were taught, and our grandmothers washed our chicken. They would wash that chicken down first thing, and what that would do would spray liquid that's potentially contaminated contaminated around the kitchen. You don't need to do that. That's a big mistake. And if you put your chicken down, that's going to contaminate your sink and then anything you may put in there.
It will splash onto things you can't notice. Now, I had always thought that a plastic cutting board might be better than a wooden cutting board because you hear that the wood is porous and absorbs.
Right. There have been studies that have looked at this and there have been conflicting results. The most important thing is that you separate and you use one set of cutting boards for your meat, your produce, your poultry, and one for your produce, your fresh things. You can even put a label on there, meat, so that you remember and you don't mix them up in your cooking, and one for your produce.
Right.
That will be very important.
Soap and water enough, or do you need some of these special sprays?
You know, if you use hot water and soap and scrub it really well, that's going to take care of the bacteria and will help you. Once a week, maybe twice a week, you can use a dilute bleach solution, tablespoon of bleach, a gallon of water, and soak it, and that will further clean your board. Some people use lemon and salt. That really won't control the bacteria. It may make it smell nice.
Yeah. All of these tips, the real deal, on our website at abcnews.com. And again, so many people sick every year.